Okay, getting sent out to YouTube. And
Oh,
You're up, Sam.
Oh. You got to be the wacky flailing, arm flailing tube man.
wacky waving inflatable arm flailing
Arm
tube
flailing
man.
tube man. Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. What's up, interwebs? It's your boy Sam from Interstellar Audio Machines.
Hold up
And
one
welcome to
Hold
the
on, I'm not seeing it.
Interstellar Audio Escape Pod.
I'm not seeing it live yet.
Cast. You mean this fucking gold isn't going out anywhere?
I'm not seeing it on TikTok, at least.
second. Right.
Oh,
I
so,
hit
so
live
we
on
are
YouTube.
live on other things.
Okay, all right.
So put your dicks away, please.
Damn it.
Yeah, welcome everybody to another rousing episode. How's everybody feeling today? Vincent
Fantastic.
D'Onofrio.
That's my slave name. Please don't call me that.
What's your non-slave name?
And we are live on TikTok
Oh, is that comes up
okay.
perfect.
right now. Just when I
Great
said
timing.
it.
Great timing.
For everybody on TikTok, welcome to the Interstellar Escape Podcast. My name's Sam. I'm with Interstellar Audio Machines. I'm here with all my fun friends. We got Vince, we got Charlie, we got Puneet. Sadly, our buddy Eric is on tour right now and in Mexico, sitting on a beach like an asshole. So
Allegedly.
Yeah. Living his best life. But we're here. We're holding down the pod. You know what I'm saying? So Vince, what's new with you, man? What's new with you this week?
Got a gig out of town this weekend that hopefully won't get canceled due to the weather.
Wait, when you say out of town, you mean like in Houston, like out of town?
No.
Or like...
So we're playing in Fredericksburg, like wine country, about 4 hours west of here.
That's where my mother-in-law lives.
Oh, nice. All right. Yeah,
Oh.
it's over at the Lukenbach. It's like one of the older dance halls in Texas. But the weather's not looking like it's gonna hold up, so we may get rescheduled. Hopefully,
You know,
that's gonna be a
freeze your
rough
ballies
drive.
off. Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
No, it's a 4-hour icy drive. If so, so not
about
looking
you?
forward to that.
What about you, Charles? What's been going
What
on
I've
with
been
you?
up to?
Yeah.
Just spending a lot of time working on this whole back end. It's just been getting better and better and better and more reliable. I've learned it probably way too much stuff.
I wish that was a euphemism for like something inappropriate, but
Yeah, no, I'm not that cool. I'm not that cool. I'm
don't
sorry.
say that. Don't say that. When they check
You're
out
the
their
coolest
when they
one
check out your
here.
channel and you playing drums, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I get it now.
Mm-hmm.
I need me a piece of that C money."
That's what they
Charles Dickens.
Hey, what's up, Irish?
Chickadee Charles in the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, that one was good.
All right.
I've had better.
It had me.
I'm tired today.
You'll
I'm
find
tired today. Everybody had a long weekend, right? And we all stayed up way too late and probably went too hard in the paint. I'm still on dry January, though, by the way. Just update to everybody who cares.
You've
To
been
all who
holding
celebrate.
strong?
Too early to celebrate. Dude, every day now since this, what are we in, week 3? The thirst is growing. That's all I can
First,
say.
you're gonna black out.
Yeah, totally, right?
You're gonna spray like cologne on yourself and pass out.
Yeah, exactly.
You have mouthwash.
Yeah.
Get a little cut, little alcohol on it. So, Puneet, what about you, man?
Yeah, just getting ready for NAMM this week. Still in recovery from wisdom tooth extraction. Again,
I was gonna say.
kids get it done when you're young. But really excited for NAMM. Going to check out some of our artists, some friends, check out some new gear. Doing that whole thing, we'll have a lot to report back. But yeah,
So, if you see a 6'5" Puneet walking around out there,
run.
because he's probably on some shit. No, you should say hi and say, "Hey,
Yeah.
man, I caught you on the pod, and I love you."
I generally look like this in real life, so yeah, you should be able
Yeah.
to find me. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe with a little more smile, a little more teethy smile.
Hey. Yeah, I got more room in my mouth
Hey,
now.
I was gonna say,
Got
gonna
way
say
more
you
room
would.
in there.
yeah, man.
For teeth.
Well-
for teeth.
Okay, sure.
Hey, dude, confirm nor deny it, whatever. What happens at NAMM stays at NAMM unless you get the Thrax, which you're probably going to get.
Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Who
Yeah.
here has gotten bad NAMM Thrax every year? Raise your hand. Every year, dude, it's like
Yes.
I don't know what kind of cross contaminants come together.
You were
And-
down when we were at the airport. We hadn't
Yeah.
even left yet.
Because it hit me like a ton
it
of
was
bricks.
quick.
Yeah.
COVID Annie or whoever it was coughed in my face day one. So by the time we were done, I was just like, I remember we were still like partying and drinking and doing our thing, like scuts. You know what I mean? Boots and pants and all that. And then all of a sudden I'm just like, ooh, I feel achy. I feel not so good. I thought I was just, 4 days of drinking had gotten to me, or maybe just, being around Vince for too long. I don't know.
It'll do that to you.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. I'm sorry.
I'm still too new to Vince. Hasn't happened yet.
Well, you haven't had to share a hotel room yet, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
At night when I'm in my booty shorts and my bonnet, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, it is
It's a
whole
fun
thing.
time.
He's not contained. He is not contained at all.
Nothing
Well,
contained about me.
That'll be cool. So Panita will have a lot of good firsthand knowledge from NAMM this year. We'll do a little NAMM recap on one of the pods, I'm sure. Talking to you guys about cool stuff everybody saw and all the new fun things. But today we're talking band survival, the do's and don'ts, and stage smarts for the everyday musician. Did that sound good? Did that sound professional?
That sounded about right.
I don't think we really call ourselves too professional, at least at doing podcasts. How about this? Let me try another one. Version 2. Great bands don't get fired because of bad songs. They get fired because of bad behavior.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Jeez.
Yeah. So, we're going to talk a little bit about that. So we can just jump right into it. How about this? Let's come at it from a couple perspectives and you guys tell me, Sam, you're an idiot, or, let's talk
Sam, you're an
about
idiot.
not yet. God damn it. Not yet. Maybe let's talk about at a local level, like if you're just kind of starting out, or even if you've been playing and you're at a local level, you don't really tour or whatever. We could start being in a local band, maybe next tier up. We're playing some regional shows, maybe next tier up. Oh my God, we made it. We're signed, but we're not getting tour support. So we haven't really made it yet. And we're kind of getting effed in the A by every promoter and or person out there. Anyways, so what do you think? Do's and don'ts. Let's talk about from a local band level, and please feel free to give any embarrassing anecdotes from when you guys first started out, because I know we all have some. I'm going to pitch it over to Puneet just to start it up. What about you, dude? When you first started playing, because clearly you're touring the world right now. When you first started playing kind of local wise, you didn't really know what was up yet. What were some do's and don'ts, some stuff you learned early on?
Yeah. So, I started playing. I've been a drummer my whole life, and that's what I started kind of as. And I think my biggest issues where I would bring far too much gear. Oh, I might need this 6-inch, dirty splash on the east side of my kit for this one accent, I might need. So I always had way too much gear. So I guess I was trying not to be underprepared. I would be overprepared all the time. So it would always take me twice, 3 times as long to set up. Everyone's plugged in, ready for sound check, and I'm still oh, the low tom is a semitone off. I need to, So yeah, just getting kind of bogged down in the minutia, and I think that came from just insecurity of not maybe knowing all my parts. So really, kind of the number one thing that I'll start with is it's not so much the gear, it's the player. You got to know your parts. I'm sure we'll talk about this later, but all the best guitarists, all the best musicians you see sound great with a $100 Strat in their hand versus a $100,000 burst or whatever. It's the player, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not so much the gear. So for me, starting off, that was a big thing. Just bringing too much stuff, never knowing what to pare down, and then having to obviously sound check all this stuff. I mean, I'm sitting here like Terry Bozzio, playing, with my 52 overhead cymbals and
Here's a question, Panit. When you were a drummer, from a drummer's perspective, and did you haul all your own stuff, or did you make your bandmates carry your stuff in too?
oh, I didn't even know that was an option. Yeah.
So there you go, kids. There's your answer.
Yeah, you're gonna schlep your own stuff. So, hardware bag with wheels, non-negotiable. Back strap, make sure that you safety first, then teamwork. But yeah, just try. I mean, if you're a drummer, know your parts. You don't need this 15-piece kit when a 4 will do. Always have a couple backups of things, but don't have a backup for a backup, because you're going to be schlepping all this gear in. You're going to be schlepping all this gear out.
Exactly.
Dude, I 100% agree with that, and it sounds like we all do. Like, from a guitar player standpoint, singer, guitar player, even bass player. I did it in bass. Play bass in bands too. Like, I used to think, especially when I first started out, like, I was playing rock music, so I was like, oh, I got to have this big half stack. I got to have, these giant, heavy, Les Paul classic guitars, which I loved and I still love. Don't get me wrong, but there's a time and a place for it. Especially if you're going to be playing, like, especially if you start out, you got to play covers sometimes. You got to do covers with originals. So you might have to play for 2 or 3 hours. That tree trunk around your neck, that starts getting heavy. When a Tele Deluxe, which is what I like to play nowadays, would suffice with a tiny combo. You know what I mean? And then even nowadays they have, I make analog guitar pedals, but there's a lot of great digital stuff out there too, to if you're just starting out, that you can lay down and sound great with, and you're not breaking your back, man. Don't break your back. There's no, you don't need to. God, I remember, you guys remember, Panit, he has one back there. No, that's a Fender. Is that a Fender? I can't tell. It looks blurry on my screen. I can't tell what it is. Is it Ampeg? Yeah.
This one? That's a Bassman.
Oh,
it's a vintage Bassman. But I have an Ampeg SVT Classic in the back room.
Yeah. So anyway, I would haul around a 810.
Yep.
That was the stupidest thing in the world to do. I mean, it was fun and it was cool. It made you feel rock and roll.
But loading in and out.
When you're playing a room where you can fit 100 people into it, it's like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
I
was going to say the SVT Classic, when I got that head, I looked at it. It is 1,000 watts. It's like you could power Madison Square Garden with this head. Yeah.
And it's such crazy. A great sounding amp, but damn, that's too much power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Especially when you're starting out and you're playing small places, like, well, dude, and most likely you're probably just going to be going direct anyways.
Well, that was going to be my next point, is like, especially at the local level, if you're just playing bar gigs and stuff, go direct if you can, because you play those clubs with 100 people max in it, your 50-watt head is going to blast everybody in that room. So go direct, set up a little wedge on the side as a little guitar amp kind of thing as a monitor, but I don't see the point in anybody bringing a half stack or anything more than that to a gig. It's too much. And the silent stage thing seems to be the big thing now anyway, but if you're not playing big rooms, you don't need a big amp.
So you brought up a good point about monitors, being able to hear yourself, because I remember playing stuff where there was no monitors, they didn't have any stuff, small bars. They might have like 2 speakers, but they're blasting out to the people. And obviously you got to worry about feedback and nonsense and all that too. So, like, what's a cool kind of beginner way to easily, is there any solutions out there to kind of minimize what you need to bring in, but still be able to hear yourself? Because that's one thing. I played without in-ears for a million years, and I just blasted the hell out of my ears.
I can't do that after playing so many stages, but plus military. Like, I can't be on stage with a wedge. It doesn't work for me. Yeah. So I have a little 4U rack that I bring with me. It's got an in-ear monitor system, so even if we have a wedge, I can take a line right off the wedge and go to that. Or front of house can give me a line, whatever it may be. But I refuse to play if I'm not using in-ears.
And there's like you could get like really entry level versions of this stuff probably off
Yeah.
of like Marketplace or
Yeah,
online
there's
used
a
or
lot of
something.
cheaper options. Obviously, they're not going to be as great, but they're affordable, and all you really need is a mono return off of a board or something. But yeah, even just for the sake of, like you were saying, your hearing, go in ears if you can. It makes a world of difference.
Yeah, no, that's true, man. So, I mean, I think, Panini, you hit it right out of the park, right at the beginning for the local guys. You know, pare down your gear, be lean, be easy to get in and out. You don't need all the stuff, especially nowadays. You don't, from a guitar standpoint, you don't need it. From the drum standpoint, you don't need it. It might be fun, but I mean, really, it's kind of like, you know, you could even say know your role. That applies to a lot of different things when being a local band, but I mean, specifically know your role, know your gear, what fits the type of like venue you're going to be doing. You know, that also kind of brings up another point, like know your role within the band. That's a great thing when you're local at all levels, really. But even at the local level, it's good to know. Like, I asked the question, I was like, Benit, did you haul your drums around, or you know, did other people help you? Because that's kind of a pain in the ass. Sometimes you get in bands with people who don't want to help. They're like, oh, especially the singers. You know, I'm the singer. I'm just roll in there and do it.
And that drives me crazy too, because like as a guitarist, like we're not bringing a ton of gear, or at least you probably shouldn't be. But at least for me, I've always been that guy. Like if I see my drummer loading in, I'm going and helping him because I know that's a nightmare.
The
But
PA.
I was also that guy that one show I built this like rack system for myself, like 80s kind of thing, thinking like, oh yeah, I'm Billy Badass, the 80s rack set up, and it lasted one show because I was like, I'm not carrying that by myself. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So pare down.
Man, God, I didn't really learn to really pare down until I was actively touring in sign bands. So I was touring before and still hauling half stacks, the 810s, all that crap around in our van or in the trailer or whatever, you know, full drum kits. It's like, and then when you're actually doing date after date after date after date after date, and if you're in a crappy band, like I've been in some bands where the singer thought they were hot. You know what I mean? It's like, if Eric was here, he'd be the same way. So like, I would, whether I was a singer or I was a bass player, whatever position I had, my role in the band, I would always help load everything in. So guys, if you're not doing that, guys or girls, ladies, if you're not helping your bandmates, then you're a piece of shit. And you better get out there and start helping them at the next thing. You heard it here first. I will stand by that statement until I die. You know, also, who's going to be the point person for the band when you get there? You know your role. Like, who booked the gig? Who's like your de facto, you know, because when you're starting out, you clearly are not going to have management or anything like that. You kind of got to play those cards. You got to know who's, you know, when you get in there, boom, 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 who's your point of contact? Because, you know, not everybody can be the leader of the band. Maybe it varies from person to person depending on the situation, but you can't like all get in there and be like, oh, what's going on? Is this just too much? You got to have that point person. And then if you are that point person, know your role, know your job. And again, if you're in the band, support that point person. You know, if he's going in there, he or she's going in there to talk and get details about loading and all that stuff, you guys get together, start loading the stuff in, man. Don't wait around with your thumb up your ass. You know what I mean? Like, get out there and support.
Yeah. It's got to be one guy checking in, one guy getting the check. You know, everyone else is doing their part. I've been in bands where, everyone's loading out and the singer's at the bar getting a beer and talking to chicks, whatever it may be. And it was like that every gig. So I would say, I guess another tip is, and should be a given, but don't be an a-hole. Yeah. Don't be that guy, especially in a local band. Like, it's a struggle enough.
It's tough for people, right?
Yeah. And in certain situations, I understand it's hard not to be, but don't be that guy.
Yeah. You get a lot more with honey than vinegar. I mean, don't leave the venue without a check, but also don't burn the place down.
Yeah.
You know?
And there have been plenty of venues I really wanted to burn down. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But it's best to walk away with a smile and never play there again.
I think this is a great time for a story. You're talking about burning down venues. I'll tell you one story that sticks to me. And this is back when I'd still consider myself starting out, but I was touring regionally. So we were kind of the local guys, semi-known locally, but we were touring like in and around a few states, like 3 states. Nothing, still in an old van, and just a bunch of gross dudes in a gross van trying to make it happen. Um, went to a venue, which of course at this point we're all booking our own stuff. Which, by the way, I think nowadays there's a lot more tools out there for you to book
Yeah.
legitimate venues. But back then, internet was barely a thing. I'm dating myself for sure. You're making phone calls, you're just figuring stuff out on the fly. You try to get stuff off the internet as much as you can, but a lot of times you're taking gigs at not the best places. So we did that. It was an out of town gig. We rolled in after the show. Speaking of Puneet, getting that check or cash, probably better in this instance. I go back there and I'm like, hey man, he's like, yeah, great show, whatever, chop it up. He goes behind his desk, he sits down, he's like, all right, well, we'll see you guys later. And I was like, nah, man, I think like our guarantee was like $100, that basically enough to put some
Classic.
gas in the car.
Yep.
Or gas in the van. $100. Like, he's like, nah, we're good. It was just one of those things where that hadn't happened to me yet. I hadn't learned all my street skills yet. My worldly ways, if you will. Anyways, long story short, we're going back and forth, and this dude just like pulls out a gun and puts a revolver on the desk. He's like, "No, you're
Damn.
good." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good.
Whoop, yeah.
Well, let's go, guys."
Damn.
Over like $100. It's just
Jeez.
See,
Just-
and that's like a big thing, and it's hard with some of these bar gigs, but don't play a show unless you got a contract, because I've seen that shit happen to people, and it ain't okay.
Mhm.
Because I mean, think about it. On a gig day, like being in a local band, you're putting in probably 6 to 8 hours worth of work that day to walk away with, like you said, $100. So divide that per hour per 4 people, and you're walking away with pennies.
Yeah.
I've got a great story about that.
Go for it.
We booked a gig in New York City. It's kind of a shithole, like a hole in the wall bar. And again, spent the whole day getting ready, putting everything together, coordinating logistics, blah, blah, blah. Hours go by, we play, and then the ladies, people at the door collecting the, what's that called? Right, you
Like the
pay
cover?
$5 to get in. It's
Cover charge.
they ran out of there well before we were even finished. So yeah,
Never got your cut of the door.
Yeah.
no, I never went back either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
those
what-
door cuts are a pain.
One of the scams that I didn't really fully understand, because I was a well-intentioned, like, oh, we're all musicians, we're all helping each other out. I got kind of used by the local venue. So this was a venue you could probably have a couple hundred people. As a local band, we'd maybe bring out 100, right? And then the booking agent owner would put us on with other touring bands, so that we'd bring in a crowd for the touring band that he could get from out of town, which is a great concept. It's a great idea. Awesome. That's kind of the way it works. But then when it came time to split up the money, things I had learned by this point to skew things in my favor, at least, negotiate a good deal off the top. We get X amount cut of the door, whatever. The bartenders get their X amount out of the money. Your venue gets this, cool. And then we walk away with our, couple $100 or whatever it was, plus the door. And then he would always pull this thing. He'd be like, hey man, come over to the side. He's like, all right, so you guys did pretty good tonight.
No.
But, I just, I'd really like to see if I could, take some money out of your cut and give to the touring bands, because the touring bands really need it. And at the time I'm like, oh man, yeah,
We really did.
yeah. I was like, touring band. Yeah, no, that's cool, man. All good. Cause we're pumped up after the show. He's basically manipulating the situation And then I think
Jeez.
back to this now. I'm like, no, motherfucker, you give them your money if you want them to
Mm-hmm.
have the,
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, but
Oh God.
yeah. So don't get caught in that
Mm.
trap. I think I did that like 3 or 4 times before I realized the game he was playing, and I was like,
Yeah.
all right, I feel stupid.
I will say one big thing that I see all the time, and it pisses me off till no end. Pay to play.
Yeah.
Do not pay to
Classic.
play. The
Classic.
only time I can justify that is if you're opening up at a decent venue for like a touring band, a regional band, whatever it is, somebody that you should be opening for as a stepping stone, whatever it may be. But
Yeah.
otherwise, the whole you need to sell 30 tickets and you only get X amount percent, and like there's a club here in Houston.
Yeah, don't do that. Those are shit gigs.
There's one club here that does this all the time, and it's okay. Yeah, you need to sell X amount of tickets, and how many? If you sell between this many tickets and this many tickets, that will depend on your set time. So if you sell this many tickets, you get a 20-minute set. If you sell 50 tickets, you get an hour set.
Ugh.
And oh man, they every time they reached out to me, and they would just randomly spam email me, and I'd always tell them off like, absolutely not. Like, you're ruining the music scene by doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. Do not do pay to play.
Sold tickets, no percent to open.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, that sucks.
yeah, when I was young, it was like I want to play the whiskey, I want to play the rocks, I want to say I played these places, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
So it's like, okay, I can count on my hand number of family that's going to show up.
Yeah. Yep.
Number of friends. There might be a few strangers in the mix here. Okay, I can sell reasonably 30. Okay, so that'll get me a 20 minutes, and I can say I played the whiskey, right?
Yeah.
But that's
there
like
are some,
that's
there
like
are
when you're
some
super
times-
young and you want to do that.
yeah. And there are some times where like playing a certain venue can be a resume builder for sure, because then you can tell booking agents, whatever it may be, hey, I played this place.
Right.
But 9 times out of 10, you're getting screwed in those pay to play scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
That's a great point. I forgot. I mean, I've done that too. I'm just sitting here thinking we just kind of organically came up with this own segment of like bad deals
Yep.
when you're booking stuff. Hey, I just want to give a shout out too to our people at TikTok. Irish, what's up?
Hey.
Welcome in. Good to
Hey,
see you
Irish.
out there. And Monkey in a Box, what up? What up? What up? What up? What up?
I was just gonna say, shout out Dingbats. I also have played there.
Uh-oh. Where's Dingbats?
I don't even know, to be honest. I wasn't psyched to be there. I think
What's
it's
up,
South Jersey.
girl?
Loop Forge, what's
Loop
going on?
Forge,
Thank you guys
welcome
for
in.
hanging out.
Clifton,
Appreciate it.
up north.
Yeah, man. So, dude, I definitely did the tickets thing. Another one that I did, there was a local TV station, so public access station, but it definitely like it definitely helped us out. There was like some late night shows that I would get on and play some songs or whatever, and it would translate to new people coming out and seeing us at shows. So it was definitely worth it. So this one time there was a local venue. It was one of the bigger ones called Lincoln Theater. This is in Raleigh, North Carolina. I don't even know if it's there anymore. But you could fit probably 1,000 people or something like that in there. So it was a big deal for us as a local band. And this TV show was putting on a show there. So they're like, all right, go out there. You have to be a part of the show. You had to get invited, which was good. All the bands were good, but that was step one. And then step two is you had to sell like a minimum of like 50 tickets or 75 tickets or something. Right. Exactly. But again, Vince, to your point, is like you got to weigh the pros and cons to something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like, because this show was going to be like recorded live, it was going to be a big, back then, this is before like even smartphones were really good at taking videos. This was going to be legit video, legit sound, legit venue. So like the promotional piece of it plus the TV show piece of it, we were like, okay, that kind of seems to weigh out. At least we thought so.
Yeah.
But the way you were describing it, man, like, yeah, the pay to play ticket thing, don't do it. It's tempting just to get a gig, but don't do it.
Yeah.
If your band is decent enough, you shouldn't have to do that. You can find venues, especially nowadays, with
And
the
I will say it is really really difficult at the local level to be your own booking agent, because I can't tell you how many times, in the past where I've emailed all these venues and called, and there's nobody knows their ass from a hole in the ground. So whoever's doing the booking doesn't answer their phone or their email, and it's always such a pain. But even nowadays, from what I'm seeing at a local level, the best thing to do is to be a social media band and then let the gigs come to you. That seems to work out the best in the current kind of climate that's
yeah.
happening.
That's not
Interesting.
yeah. That's good. That's a good point.
Like
That's a
write,
good point.
record, rehearse as much as possible, be as tight as you can, focus on social media. And like I've seen it all the time where these bands come out of nowhere, but they're writing and releasing good music, and then their very first gig, they're being invited to play in front of 1,000 people.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh
way
yeah.
better than going and chasing gigs.
So
I
how does that affect like releasing music? Are you just releasing singles all the time and then pumping
So
out TikTok content?
the average is about 2 to 3 months. So I'd say once a quarter, because the attention span for people nowadays is so minimal. Don't release a song every month, every other month, something like that. Because then you're just kind of burning through material. But take the time to write good music, make sure it's properly recorded. Um, do a bunch of content around that song, promote it properly, but do a bunch of stuff in between too, so it's not like you're not getting pummeled in the face by the newest single every day for 2 3 months. But
Yeah.
in that time, get together, rehearse as much as possible, be as tight as you can, so when a show does pop up, you're ready.
Dude, so that's kind of a good segue to another part that I was thinking. We were talking earlier about, like as a new band, do's, if you will, some do's and
Hmm.
don'ts. We were trying to talk about more do's, and we kind of went all over the place. But um, the whole know your role situation in terms of like who's the leader of the band when you're on stage, who's the leader of the band when it
Hmm.
comes to checking in, loading in, getting paid at the end of the night, or
Hmm.
whatever the deal is. Um, knowing your role when you're on stage, that's another big one.
Hmm.
From a performance standpoint, it took me a long time because again, when I was first starting out, smartphones weren't video recording was like rare. You had to like actually hire guys to come out and do video. Point being is, so you didn't really have the capability to watch yourself back. I mean, you could practice if you get like a recorder in your
Hmm.
practice space and do that, but that's not a real life scenario. Real life scenario throws all sorts of curveballs at you, and you want to see how you guys perform, and then
Hmm.
kind of critique yourself, feedback,
Hmm.
like holy crap, I said that, I sound like an idiot, or that was cool as hell, we should
Hmm.
do that more, or whatever. But one good thing that I had to learn, because obviously I like to talk, and at the time I was
No.
no way, not me. I was fronting bands. I was the singer, so I was like, God, I gotta talk more. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. And then I was able to watch back on video, and I'm like, wow, that shut the fuck up. You know what I mean?
It's a bunch of nervous
Like,
energy.
Yep.
yes, that's exactly it, dude. That's exactly it. It's like, all right, you don't need to talk
Hmm.
between every song.
Yeah.
And then, even to go so far as maybe only the singer talks between songs, or if the singer's
Hmm.
taking a break to get a drink, then, you know, bass player or guitar
Yeah.
player jumps in and
Hmm.
says something if they need to. It's
And
good to at least try to think about these type of transitions,
hmm.
if you really want to be impactful, especially when it's your first time jumping out there in front of people. That's how you get invited back. That's how you get
Hmm.
asked back.
Yeah. And along those lines, like you said, the transitions, no dead space. There shouldn't be dead space where people are awkwardly tuning. Something should be happening between the songs, because that 10 seconds of dead air feels like 10 minutes.
Hmm.
So somebody's talking to the crowd, or the drums are doing something in the background. If it's keeping time, something's happening at any given point. And if you have a charismatic singer like Sam here, who can engage with people and yeah, our wacky waving inflatable arm flailing too, man. But you've got the charisma of being a front man. You can talk to people and engage. So even if you are talking, it doesn't feel forced or like too much, unless you're going on and on and on. But like that dead space gets awkward real fast.
Yeah, and conversely, the whole backstory on the new song you wrote, you're explaining to the audience that didn't even care about the new song to begin with about
Yep.
how you were so. Yeah, this next song I wrote, I was in a really dark time, and it's just
Girlfriend left me. And...
right. It's like, come on, get to it.
Yeah,
We're here for the
yeah.
next band anyway. Come on.
Yeah.
That's a great point. Those type of things are great, and you want to do it because you've seen all your big bands that you've always watched, growing up or whatever, do that kind of stuff. But then you think about it, it's like, oh, they were doing that when they were like bigger, and people actually were like gave a crap.
Yeah.
Kind of know where you are, know that you're a beginning band, and that you want to get your songs and your performances out as fast as you can, especially because, especially in this society that we're in now, where it's just like click, 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 boom. And you brought up a good point, Vince, about dead space in between songs. It's like if you were listening to something on the radio or whatever, or a video or something, and then all of a sudden there was like 10 seconds of just nothing. You're gonna like zone out. You're not gonna pay attention anymore.
Yeah.
This is where like today there's so many cool things where like drummers especially can trigger something. Even if you're not playing to tracks, because some people love it, some people hate it. If you're a more freestyle band, you can have your drummer just trigger something like a pad where there's like this.
Yep.
I was
Something's
gonna
happening.
say,
You know what I
that's
mean?
what I do. I have a SPDSX.
Yeah.
And
my drummer just picked that up.
I love it. It's
Yeah,
so
it's-
easy. It's a little archaic at this point, but it's cheap, you know?
But it's for that, like, so we're gonna program it
Fills
so
that
our
space.
drummer can program the click. We can program like, hey, just a pad in between songs, or like when we're in rehearsal, we practice all of our transitions, so we know when we're coming out of this one, we get a quick ride cymbal, and then we're in on the next one. So those transitions are well rehearsed. Everybody knows where you need to be, because, like I said, that dead space gets awkward so fast.
Yeah.
But
Monkey goes, "What's
you
cheap?"
You
mentioned
mean like
I'm
just
broke.
then?
Yeah.
I
So
thought
where to
Puneet
go
was
from
gonna
here?
say-
Yeah.
I thought Puneet was going to say something. He just goes, yeah.
Well, I was waiting
Good
for the
fucking
natural.
point, bro. Like,
I was waiting for the natural break.
no.
Well, I also
See?
think that does dovetail what we were talking about earlier. Is like being prepared, knowing your parts is also knowing the parts in between, right?
Yeah.
You know what you do, and nominate the person with the riz to be the talker, right?
The Riz, he says.
Yeah, that's my cringy 12-year-old lingo for you. But
Well,
yeah,
we
that's
Sorry,
yeah.
we have that stuff on our set list too, where like we have it noted in between what songs. Okay, we're just gonna go right into this next one, or somebody's gonna pause and talk. So hey, we can tune real quick.
Yep.
Stuff like that. It's all pre-planned, so we know where it needs to be.
Set list. Make a set list.
Yeah.
It seems like the most like no-brainer thing, but
You'd be
make set
surprised.
lists and make copies of the set list. Don't show up with like one. Everybody should have one.
Yeah.
And hey, here's a free piece of advice. Tape it to the fucking stage, like, so that it doesn't just go flying off when you're in the middle. Like,
Right.
oh crap, what's the next song?
Dude, how
Hey,
many
I've done
sets
all these things. I've done all these things wrong.
Yeah.
So-
Like how many sets I played where somebody's like, "Hey, what's the next song?"
Yeah.
Or like
Right.
just people are just calling out random songs mid-set, and it's like,
Which one do
this
you want
is
to play?
so
I don't
chaotic.
know.
Yeah.
We could
Exactly.
play this one.
Right.
Yeah. From a person in the audience perspective, that's what I was trying to say. That type of shit, just like, especially if you're in more short format songs, like if you're trying to be like a radio band, or a radio musician, like you got to have a little bit of format going on. I mean, if you're trying to be like the next Fish or Mo or Widespread Panic or something like that, a jam style band, then maybe not as much of these rules maybe it may apply to you.
Yeah.
Apply as needed, but this made me think about another one too. A definite do is Puneet hit it off a little while ago when he was talking about you catch more flies with honey or whatever you said, something like that. Just be cool. Just be cool, man. Don't come in like you're a badass. I mean, you might be, you probably are, but they don't know that. And especially at the beginning, they don't know who the fuck you are and they don't really care. You're just the band for the night.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, you might find that one person here and there who like just loves music and is like going to be like, yes, who are you? I'm desperate to hear you. You know what I mean? So be cool, be humble, be cool to the techs. sometimes, a lot of times, you're probably going to know more than them, and you might have to kind of work around it, but you can't
Yeah.
just be like, dude, are you an idiot? Like,
But on that note, the next thing I think would be agreeable here is don't be a dick to the sound guy.
Yeah.
Every sound guy is going to be an ass to you, but put a smile
Yeah.
on and be as nice as possible. Don't touch his stuff. Let him do his thing. Tell him what you need, and that's it.
Yeah.
And in between, like while you're setting up or anything, talk to the sound guy. Ask him his name. Like get to know him a little bit because they're often neglected and they're bitter about it.
I've got a
Right.
question for that,
Yeah.
actually. So, in my band, we're gonna start rolling out a rig so that we can monitor ourselves. And one thing I'm anxious about is having to have that conversation with the sound
Yeah.
guy. So, what is in the beginning stages? Local bands trying to move up. We want to monitor ourselves. We've got the rig. How do I have that conversation with the sound guy at the venue?
So I will say have a stage plot readily available. Bring it with you, and if you can give him one ahead of time, do that so he knows what he's in for. Um, but the in-ear monitor system I've built for my band is it has an isolated split on it, so everything gets patched into it. One side is the in-ear monitor, the other side is completely isolated for front of house, and sound guys seem to love that because they don't have to do monitors. We're completely independent from each other, and it's like here's your line, and you do you, we'll do us, and there's no issues.
And the isolated part, I have a non isolated splitter, 16 channel. So like, am I in for a ton of trouble with that? Because like I know only one person can apply like phantom power or stuff like
Yeah,
that.
so what I would suggest is you can get them over on the Bezos platform. Seismic Audio has like rack snakes, and it's split. So one side will be like 5 feet, the other side will be
That's what I
20,
have.
30. Okay, perfect. So the short side goes into your X32, feed your in ears, and then the other side is all front of house. So your guys completely separate from each other. Nothing's interacting.
I thought you meant transformer isolated.
No, just the split snake that you have would be fine.
Okay, okay.
And it's always great because they can plug that in however they see fit as long as they have the input list. But he doesn't have to run monitors now, and that makes them happy.
Okay.
Now you're not on stage yelling at them, "Hey, I need more," and it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
So, if you're able to set up an IEM system for yourself to where sound guys have to do less work, it's one of those things where they will love you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I felt
'cause
like I'd
they're
be a biggest pain in the ass.
No, it's the exact opposite. Because every sound guy I've met, at least at the bar or club venue or club level, they're always bitter. It's like they always act like they just got divorced yesterday and they've got 3 DUIs pending. Like they're always just so angry at the world. So if you come in and you're nice to them and you're making their job so much easier, it's great.
Man, that's a great point. And just talking about sound guys, I think back to when I was first starting out and I was playing very small, bigger than bars. They were like the first club level. You know what I mean? Few hundred people could fit in these places. I mean, pretty much they were just friggin' bars with a decent stage. We'll call them that. So like, not a bar, but a bigger bar. I don't know. You get what I'm trying to say. So there was this one of those in town where there was this guy, this sound guy. He was always there. He was an old cat. He had toured when he was younger for years and years and years. Very experienced, very professional. And you like to play his venue because your sound would be pretty decent. Like they had decent sound gear, and he definitely knew what he was doing. But he was salty. He was rough around the edges. He did not give a fuck. Like he didn't want to like talk. Like he's just like, all right, what do you got? Okay, this, boom, boom, boom. Okay, boom, boom, boom. All right, cool. Don't talk to me. Don't whatever. You know what I mean? Don't tell me you need me to turn you up again. I'm not gonna do it. Like I'm gonna make sure you sound good. That's it. And then especially when it came time to, I had played at this place. I don't know. Let's say 5 to 6 times a year. So every couple of months or something like that. For a couple of years, I've been playing there. And it took that long for me to kind of like figure out even how to write songs. This is before all this stuff was like widely available on different platforms and social media and all these like how to write a song. And now you've got AI that writes you a kick-ass song in 5 seconds, and then you can use that as a songwriting tool.
Yep.
I mean, way better than what I did. But anyways, I was cutting my teeth writing songs and figuring out formats and figuring out what people liked, how to write a hook, blah, blah, blah. So it took me like 2 years to do this. And during that 2 years, that guy wouldn't say 2 words to me. Same thing. He was the guy though. He'd make you sound good. You'd have a good show. He didn't need a stage plot because it wasn't like that, but definitely have good gear or keep your gear ready to go, be nice, all the things we already talked about. So after this 2 years situation, like I finally was had switched over from like an acoustic band to like a electric rock band, still playing pop rock music, but figured out how to write a song, how to write a hook, how to really engage in the audience. Wasn't doing all that crazy nervous energy, all the things we said kind of keep an eye on. We were doing everything right. Played a song. After the set, he comes up to me. He's like, "You guys finally sound like a band." You know what I mean? Like this guy who hasn't said 2 words to me in like 2 years.
Now you know you made it.
Yeah, dude. And I was just like, "Herb!"
Yeah. Brings a tear to your eye.
Did anybody else hear that?
Yeah.
But it was so funny, like how that one little comment, like, "You guys finally sound like a band." Like, yes, dude. Like we're gonna take over the world.
Yeah.
But anyways,
dude,
I just thought that was.
There's a sound guy locally here. It's a super dive bar. It's mainly for like metal bands and stuff. But you go in and it's just hazy with smoke from the cigarettes. And, like best buffalo wings I've ever had in my life at this place. But like a place that you might catch
I could
something.
go for some buffalo wings right now,
dude. And especially like dive bar
yes,
buffalo wings.
Blue cheese.
Ranch or blue cheese?
Neither.
Blue cheese.
Oh,
I'm from New York, so I have
celery.
to say blue cheese. But Texas is big on ranch.
But you don't want either.
No, I'd rather just tossed in a sauce or something.
Yeah, we know you want to get tossed.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
That's Interstellar After Dark. We'll talk about that later.
Meow, meow, meow. Chuck will just like beep, beep, clip that out real quick.
But yeah, the sound guy there, he's very much like that. Like, don't talk to him. He's bitter as hell. He doesn't want to be there. He's not being paid enough to be there, and he's going to tell you about it. Just like you go in, set up, let him do his thing, and don't say 2 words to him. He doesn't care about what you think.
I was gonna say, I was just looking over here at TikTok. We actually have a question for, I think, do you want? See, I can't say all the things I want to say because I'm so used to talking to you guys.
Oh, that's you, Sam.
Yeah.
From Monkey.
Oh, no, yeah. For Monkey, he said, what band is the guy in the bottom right in? I feel I should know this. Am I in the bottom right? Or I thought it was Vince.
Yeah,
You
it's
are.
you.
You
Oh,
are.
I'm in the bottom right. Oh, well, let's see. The last
Have
big
you ever heard of
band,
Grateful Dead?
yeah, Foo Fighters, little band called Foo Fighters.
Yeah, he bounces around a bit.
I think I
Yeah.
have them.
He fights the food.
No, the last band I was in that was signed. The biggest band was Throwing Gravity out of Nashville, Tennessee. Throwing Gravity, just the worst band name. Well, because the band was signed under the name The Rust, but apparently there was another band or something out there. So the label, of course, says, "Oh, you got to change it to something." So there you go. That's one of the bands I was in. I was also in a band called Ellsworth. That's where I met Puneet. I don't even know. Did he ever put that music online? I don't even know if that music ever made it online. But let's just go around real quick. You guys give shout outs to your bands for the guys who actually are interested in checking it out. We'll start. Charlie, what's the name of your band?
My band's called As Always.
All right.
We're mostly in Asbury Park, New Brunswick, kind of central New Jersey.
What kind of music?
Rock, alternative, not too heavy,
All right.
that kind of thing.
What
A lot
about
of
you, Vince?
effects, a lot of pedals. The boys love the pedals.
Ooh, yeah.
My
Too
kind
many
of
pedals.
vibe.
To be
You
honest.
mean like Interstellar audio machine pedals?
Not yet. But
Well, then what are they doing?
Well,
I don't
speaking of that, I
know.
do want to touch on that here in a bit once we get through this portion. Puneet,
Oh.
who you playing with?
Yeah. I want to hear this.
We lost audio.
We lost audio. Way to go. Hey now.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, there he
There
is.
we go.
He's back.
Hey now. Just been playing a bunch of different pickup gigs, doing some session work. No official band as of now. Writing my own stuff. Getting
Yeah.
involved with Interstellar. Played with Zach DeBono, one of our Interstellar artists, not long ago.
Yeah, Zach's a fun guy.
Yeah. So been kind of jumping around between a few different things, but I'm picking up some session work and seeing where that leads.
Nice.
All right.
What about you, Vince? What's the name of your what?
So I am currently playing guitar for a local country artist named Henry Williams. Kind of an up and coming artist, but he's definitely going places. We're already starting to open up for some like regional country acts here in Texas, playing some really cool venues. So
Nice.
yeah, we're working on our next single right now. Gonna be recording here in the next week or two.
Sweet. And I'm in a band. Eric and I are in a band together. It's more of a studio project right now, but we're in the process of recording new stuff. It's under the name Story Magnetic. So hopefully we'll take it to a stage near you sometime. I want to play some festival dates, man. We got to get back out there because I can't just jump around in my living or in my office here. You know what I mean? I got to go jump around on a real stage sooner than later. Probably instantly like break my ankle. I'll pull some old guy shit.
Yeah,
Like
you're gonna come walking off stage holding your back.
Pull a groin muscle. I'll do one jump and be like, "Oh fuck, should have done that."
Are you playing guitar or bass in that?
Guitar for sure.
Oh,
so songwriter,
sweet.
yeah.
Vince and I can
and then
trade off on guitar and bass. We got Eric
Yeah,
on
for
drums.
sure,
we got the
dude.
band.
Well,
we got the band.
I'm pretty sure between everybody in this chat right now, we could put together a good stage show.
And like the Grateful Dead, we could have two drummers. We could have Charlie on one side, Eric on one side.
Yes.
Try to flip off. Monkey said, try to flip off of an amp like Benson Boone. Oh my God. Did you guys see that Saturday Night Live do you guys watch Saturday Night Live at all?
Not really.
Oh, come on. All right. So there's this one where they were talking about some I think it was like Christmas record. I think Ariana Grande was on or something. Anyways, they're like doing mashups of like Ariana Grande and such singing a song like Stevie Wonder and making humorous things or whatever. And it's like up and comer Benson Boone. And then you just see him like flip out, like parkour flip out of the corner of the screen, but he always like face plants on the ground. It's just like, and they do a few more skits and then he comes back. And once again, Benson Boone. And he like does a flip into a Christmas tree. Oh, dude, look it up. Find it on the stuff in the interwebs. It's hilarious. Irish is like, but Sam, you jump so well in the office. Thank you.
You do a really good job in there.
Yeah.
So we've talked a lot about things that we don't do. Maybe we should talk about some things that work. Some things that
So
maybe talking like stage. You were talking stage volume, how to be heard, how to fit in a mix. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Volume
So
discipline.
not to do a shameless plug here, but the Interstellar Audio Machines Octonaut is a pretty damn good tool.
Oh, you plug away, buddy.
Oh well.
So as a guitarist, it's so easy to get lost in the mix. So having an overdrive on your board that's a little more mid-focused. We need to wait. How do we do the? There we go.
Oh, jeez.
Yes.
Oh, I can't
But-
do it. I can't do it.
Having like a mid-focused overdrive like the Octonaut would be great to cut through a mix,
Give this nice tone knob. Drive volume.
like a Klon Centaur style mid-focused overdrive. It's useful.
All right. We
Yeah. So
plugged it.
well. Okay. So let's back up a little bit. It's definitely useful for cutting through a mix, but
Yeah.
one of the things that a term that I've borrowed from old Uncle Larry, Tom Bukovac, is when building your board and using drives, I think that there's always that that nervous energy when you're on stage, like it just turned up a little bit. So,
Yeah.
they'll hear it a little bit better. It'll sound a little bit better. And
Yeah.
then of course you're pissing off the sound guy.
Eh,
So
it's fine.
I find for me playing guitar gigs, having incremental stages of gain
Yes.
is really the
Absolutely.
secret to volume discipline, keeping the sound guy happy. Maybe we can talk a little bit about how we approach that.
So the thing that we preach with the rig doctor side is high gain feeding into low gain, because it's so easy to oversaturate your overdrives. So if you have a high gain like a rat and then you're pushing something into it, you're just feeding more saturation, you're getting a muddy signal, it's losing clarity. So feeding high gain into low gain is a better approach because you have more headroom to work with. So for me on my board, for instance, I'm running an exotic BB preamp, the Andy Timmons model, so it's a little higher gain, into an MXR Timmy, something just a little more transparent but kind of mid-gain overdrive into the Octonaut. So my Octonaut is either always on or I'll kick it off if I just don't need it. But when I kick on a lead or solo sound, the Octonaut goes on, so I have a slight volume boost plus the mids get pushed. But for the most part, all my drives stay unity gain, with the exception of the Octonaut. So my clean sound, my overdrive are pretty close in volume, so I'm not pissing off a sound guy. So everything stays gain stage pretty well, but I do still have that like solo lead thing that cut through the mix and give myself that volume boost if I need it.
For sure. What about you, Sam?
I mean, I was actually thinking when he was talking about all that, as far as pedals are concerned, I was going to steer away from it because I was thinking back to when I first started out, which is originally when we were talking, from a local perspective. I was a singer in the band, so some mic and monitor kind of basics. You kind of learn pretty quick. When you're up there sound checking, you want to make sure that you're singing like into the mic. By the way,
Yes.
if you're ever, singing into the mic and not like around it, you know what I mean?
Don't do the Mariah Carey.
Yeah. Actually, Panit has probably the best mic ever for beginners, or just, I mean, hell, it's tried and true. The SM58.
Yep.
Shure SM58.
Yep.
You can find them, beat all to hell. It doesn't really matter if the thing's dented in, the mic cover's dented in. You just grab one of those. They're very forgiving and they're very good. They're just very good. So you can even learn kind of like where your comfortability level is. Do I like having my Do you like having your face up on the mic? Do you want to be a little bit away? Find where your happy spot is in your performance, and then make sure that you're singing into the mic. In the beginning, a lot of people think that they need to, especially singers, while you're playing live. You might think, especially if you're not playing an instrument and you got these hands, so you can do lots of fun things. You cut a flip like Benson Boone. Dude, I'm telling you, you got to look up that SNL skit. It's so funny. I cried. Just that one part though. Like don't cup the mic. It'll feed back. These are really basic things. You want to make sure that you can have, if you are going without in-ears and you're using a wedge, which a lot of times in the beginning you have to do, unless you bought yourself some cheap stuff and you can do a line. You want to ask for as little volume as possible, because that's just going to bleed over into your mic. It's going to make everything muddy, which, Vince was talking about from a pedal and guitar perspective. On the mic, it'll do the same thing. And it makes, if the sound guy does have to make any adjustments on the fly, depending on how your band is either mic'd or running direct or whatever. If it's all direct, it's a little easier, but if things are mic'd, it can get muddy fast, especially with a guy who, I don't know who said it, but I think it was Vince who said, like, he's been divorced twice that week.
That week.
At least that week. Like he's just not feeling life, man. You want to give him as much love as you can. So don't sacrifice what you can hear, but try to make sure you can do as little as possible, and just enough to get through the show when you're using a monitor, from a microphone standpoint.
Yeah.
So
No, I think that's a really good point, and it kind of goes back to what we're talking about, kind of know your gear, right? And kind of prepare for these different inevitabilities. And I think that's, at least from a guitar standpoint, I try to get as much territory as I can covered with as little gear as possible, right? So, make sure that the amp, I love my little. I've got this workhorse Blues Deluxe that I completely modified and put a new speaker in. With Fender amps, one of the best and worst things is they got to be played loud to sound good, right? So I modified it, put a master volume in so that I've got a gain and a master, so I can run things at the edge of breakup or have a lot of headroom depending on what I need, and try to get everything from the pedals, unity gain, and get in there so you can cover this territory and just like know your gear. That's probably a big thing, like what you're talking about, Sam. It's like, yeah, no, this mic, you can't be over here. You got to be right here, right? So having that kind of awareness of your own stuff is really foundational, because every sound guy is also going to be like, hey, turn that down. You're like, no, but I love it at 4. Well, you got to play it at 2,
Well, and it kind of goes too, is like, obviously you need to know your gear, but the typical guitarist thing is to, like you said, turn up when the sound guy's not looking or something. But and this goes for guitarists more than anything, is don't try to be the star of the show. Unless you are the star of the show, don't try. Don't go up there and blast your amp because you want to be louder than everyone. Fit in a mix. Take a step back. Unless you're singing lead, nobody should be watching you the entire time.
Right.
And then, man, it's like, if you do play some shows and you get real frustrated about that, and you're just like, man, this type of sound stuff, you're running into recurring situations, figure it out off the stage in rehearsals. Like, go get the in-ear if the wedges aren't working for you, or try a different microphone, figure it out. Definitely from a gear standpoint, we mentioned this at the top of the show, like, simple trumps complicated all the time when it comes to live play. You might not, I mean, even if you have to like cut down on some of your crazy effects from a guitar standpoint, what do I really need to make this song translate live? Okay, some distortion, some overdrive, maybe a delay, reverb, whatever. I don't have to have 50 pedals on my pedal board that take up like half the space on a tiny little stage. You know what I mean?
Right.
Have a really small club ready pedal board from that standpoint. And then just always being prepared with, I think we've talked about this in other episodes too, having things like extra cables, extra picks, batteries, string, sticks. But what else do drummers need?
Talent.
I was just waiting for
watch.
I something that goes click, click, click in my head. No, that one's for Eric, because he's not here.
Like dampeners for drummers. Have dampeners. Even though you like your drum sound wide open on stage, you might need to cut down the highs. I mean, mids are your friend, right? You gotta be able to balance all that.
Well, I was gonna say too, I just had this conversation with somebody earlier, somebody in a bar band, and they moved to using an E-kit, like a really good E-kit. So now,
really?
So now your singer's not getting blasted with cymbals, and there's no mic bleed. Plus, it gives front of house way more control. There's little to no stage volume now. So if you have a really good E-kit, I mean, it is an option, especially if you are playing in like a heavily gigging band or doing a top 40 thing, cover band, whatever it is. I see a lot of people moving to that now, and it's a lot more controlled. Crazy. And if you are going to play an acoustic kit live, I mean, this might be leaning more on the pro side, but get the baffles for the cymbals or something.
Those clear plastic things.
Sorry, I saw Iris. She's like, "Don't mention an E-kit to Eric."
I can't get behind. I can't get behind a live E-kit. They sound cool, but you never look cool playing an E-kit live on stage.
Now, I mean, believe me, I'm not an advocate for it, but
unless you're throwing like some Flock of Seagulls love type music, you're going like electronica, then sure, knock it out with your E-kit.
But
or just go buy like a cheap kit and just put some shells around the pads. Make it look like it.
Oh, there you go. That could be cool. I know that we're kind of coming up on a little over an hour here, and we want to try and keep these episodes down to around that. So I kind of want to help kind of wrap it out, but just real quick, I want to kind of like do like a rapid fire, if you will. Rapid fire. Chuck, this is where you got to put in like sound effects like.
I'm working on it. I got the Stream Deck set up. I'm switching scenes. And
if I
get
my cheap Chinese crap to interface with my computer here, I could do all sorts of fun sounds. But I can't. Anyways, okay, rapid fire. And worst stage habit you've ever seen somebody pull off on stage. And Vince, go.
Ooh. You know what? Banging on the drums way louder than you need to. Don't do it.
Really? See, I feel like that's got to be tough from a drummer's perspective.
I'm sure, but you're like, if I'm this far away from you, and it's a small stage, and we're in a club, don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think, Charlie? You agree?
Yeah, absolutely. I think not trying to play too soft, but being like in control, like recognizing like, oh crap, I'm bashing this cymbal.
Yeah.
And it's 19 inches and the bass player's a foot away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Know your dynamics.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
That's a great way to say it. That's perfect. All right. What about a piece of gear that you can't live without that every musician should own? Puneet, go.
Ooh, I think if you're a guitar player, a good EQ pedal.
Oh,
I think a Boss.
that's a curveball. That's a curveball. I wouldn't think that. I wouldn't think that in the beginning.
Oh, we just lost our stream
Oh,
on
Oh,
TikTok.
are we?
we probably got the puzzle piece, and yep.
We missed it.
I was switching between all of the angles on YouTube, which is still live.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We'll
well,
keep going. We'll keep going.
All right.
Yeah. For me, as a guitar player as well, I've found that talking about board and all the pedals, you need a good EQ pedal solves so much. I've got a Boss GE7. The new ones that they make aren't noisy. You don't need to get them modified. They're probably 100 and maybe 150, a couple $100. And I find, especially with backline, when you don't always know what you're getting,
Yep.
it can definitely help. You're not getting enough out of your drive. You can always kick up, drive frequency on your EQ, get some grit out of it. That to me has kind of been a secret sauce for guitar playing. From a drummer standpoint, I've used to always play 5As, 5Bs, heavy sticks. Now I keep 7As in there, keep some, bamboo sticks. You never know what the situation is going to call for. Dampeners have become my best friend playing gigs. You're stuck in a little corner and all of a sudden everything's ringing out, It's just those kinds of things
Dynamics.
are invaluable. Dynamics, yeah.
Dynamics. All right. Let's see. What gets a band rebooked instantly? Charles, go.
Well, I've never been rebooked. No, I'm just kidding. But well, I'll be honest. Like, just as a local band, like we don't really hit the same places twice, or
Interesting.
even if we do, like it's a long time in between. Also, it's just a little harder to find quality or even slightly larger venues to play. So it's hard for me to answer that question.
Well, I'll throw some money into the hat of wisdom. What the? Man, I gotta get better.
I think
at
that
this.
made sense.
It did. We'll
I
take
think that
it.
made
We'll take
sense.
it. We'll take it. So I think everything that we talked about earlier, I know it's a really kind of broad answer, but like I'll distill it down into just come in and know a little bit what you're doing, be at least semi-professional. Just come in and be easy to work with. Sound decent, because I mean, honestly, dude, when I started out, my earlier music was never going to make it on the radio. I mean, just being honest. But we played songs that had some decent hooks here and there. People could dance to it because we were at a local level. People just want to hear a decent band that has some decent sounds, play a decent song and not be a-holes, be entertaining. So if you can tick a lot of those boxes, man, that's going to get you rebooked. In my opinion, especially at the local level, having a couple covers in the repertoire too.
Yeah.
That always helps
Really?
because you always get those drunk guys or girls at the end. Play
Freebird.
this. Oh my god.
Right.
Oh my god. If you're playing in the South, it's oh my god. Play this.
I will say
Or
one.
if you're in New
to
York,
follow
it's
up
like,
with that.
hey.
What about
That was
not
my New York
annoying
accent.
like booking agents or people booking at the venue? Like, how do you not annoy the crap out of them, especially if you don't hear back?
So the rule I was told is send an email, make a phone call. wait at least 2 weeks if they don't respond, and then follow up. And if they don't respond again, it's like 3 months you wait. Like you don't pester, because at some point somebody's going to catch on to that and you're going to have a reputation for it.
Yeah, I was always the guy who was squeaky wheel gets the attention. But I see your point. See, but that was years ago, before these guys are getting inundated now. This is before when you had to make like a phone call.
Yeah.
Like nobody wants to make phone calls anymore. It's all like digital 011011 digital perfection. I don't know, man, but
I will say, to tack on one thing you said earlier, how to get a band rebooked. If you're opening, stick to your set time. Get on and off stage on your set time.
Great point, dude.
And do not go over. Do everything you can to make it as quick and smooth as possible, and that will show people that you're taking it seriously. Because I've seen bands lose opening spots for that.
I think too, it's almost becoming kind of an old-fashioned thing, but just mind your P's and Q's. You know, keep your word. Like, do what you say you're going to do. And you know, there's an old saying: if you're on time, you're late, right? So be early. You know, and like you were talking, have a stage plot, be organized. You know, make life as easy as you can for the venue. You know, always say more thank yous and than you think you need to. And just be polite. You know, it's like in this day and age, it's so much like, oh, this happened, or I'm not feeling good. I'm taking a mental health day. I mean, it's all valid stuff, but like,
right.
In this day and age of no attention, and we could just swipe up onto the next band. You know, the things that are going to be remembered are those kind of values. Like, yeah, there's a million bands that sound like this, but these guys are super cool to us. They're always appreciative. They do what they're supposed to do. They're easy to work with. You know. They're okay playing for food and a drink tab. Maybe next time I'll throw them a few bucks because I like them.
Right.
And with that, know when to shut the hell up.
Yes.
Know when to not say anything. That's another thing. It kind of falls into like kind of know your role and everything, but like know when to just walk away.
Yeah.
I got one thing though that I really hate, and that's for guitarists that keep their snarks on their headstock. Please, if you could just take the snark off the headstock, we're all good. Get yourself a little, you know, a little tuner for your board, and you're all good.
There's a million tuner pedals out there. There's no need for any of that. It's that, and when guitarists don't clip their strings, like the excess.
Unless you're Tom Morello. Tom Morello, you can't get away with that.
Him too. I don't like him.
Ooh, Vincent with the hot take. Yeah, Tom Morello.
I'll fight him. I don't care.
Yeah. Tom Morello. Tag him because I want to invite him to comment on this video, please. And that goes for all you people out there in the interwebs land. Please, if you guys have any stories or any other tips that we didn't cover, make sure that you're commenting and leave us some stuff. Oh, one other thing I was thinking about when you were talking about the set times. This is basic ass shit, but like if it takes you 10 minutes to set up your rig, 10 to 15 minutes, that's too long. You need to have your stuff scaled down and ready and be like side stage. This is before, obviously, you're playing at a basic level. You don't have roadies or venue doesn't have anybody. You got to be able to like, boom, plug in, start. I mean, somebody needs to be plugging in like 30 seconds and getting a line.
Yeah.
Like
the drummer's the only one that gets a pass on that.
Who does?
The drummer.
Oh,
and
yeah,
even
100%.
then, like.
Yeah, but even then, like, there's little things you can do. Like, I've gotten used to my cymbals at a certain height so that all I have to do is just close the base of the stand and it fits in my hardware bag, right? So I'm not, it's one less step. You know, I've got memory locks on things, but just kind of like knowing that, like, my kid over here, I play all the time, is a 20-inch bass drum, but it's only like 12 inches wide for it's like a cocktail bass drum. So, I mean, it takes me with 2 crashes, a hi-hat, basic setup. I can have the drum set up in 10 minutes and they're at the exact height I'm used to, you know?
And we're told like set up like either in the green room or somewhere else, set up all your stuff there. And when it's your time to go on stage, sound check, whatever, like Sam said, within 30 seconds, you can be plugged in and waiting for your lines and you're ready to go. And the sound guy's happy.
Yeah. You'd rather be just hanging out there with your line and wait for them than them be waiting on you.
Exactly.
While you're fumbling around like, oh crap, I forgot this. Like, for sure.
Yeah. Be as prepared and organized.
I think we dropped some serious nuggets here for people. Some serious knowledge nuggets out here for people. Dude, you know where my mind is. It's always like I take things all the wrong way, but in the right ways, if that makes sense. To
Can't
make
take
it
them out
funny.
in public.
Well, dude, thanks everybody for hanging out. Once again, I'm Sam with Interstellar Audio Machines. We got Vince, we got Puneet, we got Charlie, we got our girl Irish out there. All you people who joined us on the TikToks, the YouTubes, all that stuff. Thank you so much. Definitely stick around. Our next episodes, we're going to be doing. we're gonna have some in live feedback from the NAM conference going on right now. We've got some cool topics coming up, talking about how to record your band without wasting money. All sorts of things are going to be coming down the pipe. So please come see us again at the Interstellar Escape podcast. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
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 I need to get a reaction. It's not working.
You have 2 seconds. All right, 1, 2.
Nah.